LLC. So we test all our products to make sure they work perfectly. I usually don't entertain myself with this nonsense at the end of the day because I know my product works. I tested, I designed it. And this individual at the end of the day felt the need to go in and slander my product. First things first, if my formula came up that dark, you wouldn't be to see it. Matthew, we know exactly who you are. I got your PayPal information right here on this side. I'm not going to show it because, again, that's customer confidentiality. We don't do that at the end of the day, but we know who you are. So what I'm going to do is, since I have your information right here, I'm going to have my attorney contact you. Because as I said before, you're not going to come on YouTube, slander my product with Crow, and think you're going to get away with it at the end of the day. I knew that name looked familiar as I'm staring at it. I'm like, this guy bought from us at the end of the day. And you're going to say, that's my product and that's how it looks at the end of the day. That's how you're going to slander my company. So since I have your information right here, I'll be in contact real soon with an attorney to come track you down. That's my message to you. So when we go to court, make sure that you bring that product with you. Make sure that you'll be able to back up the testimony because the other product comes up that dark. Because I think you definitely falsified the demonstration. But I got your PayPal account information right here. I'm contacting my attorney tomorrow. We will be in touch. I will see you in court real soon. I knew I was looking at that name. I was like, wait a minute. I've seen that name before. I can tell you went in and adjusted the projector to make it look like it was dark. Because there is no way in the world our product would have came out looking like that. But I'm going to let you know something right now. I got your information right here. My attorney's going to have your information, and I'm going to see you real soon. Just to let you know. Orlando, Florida. We know where you're at. We're coming to get you. That's what I tell you. At the end of the day, if you're going to slander my company at the end of the day, we're going to come get you. I want to watch this whole demonstration. I want to make sure we got a copy of this when we go into court. I will definitely see you in court. So we're going to let this run. I want a copy of this when we go into court. I'll see you soon, buddy boy. I knew the name was familiar. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, that product got a batch number attached to it, which means we tested the product before we shipped it out. So there's a video of the product actually being tested before we shipped out with the date attached to it. So good luck getting around the batch number. I'm going to see you in court real soon. Let it record. We got his address. We got his address right here. We're gonna come get him. We're gonna definitely go get him. We coming to get him. I knew your name looked familiar. Orlando, Florida. That's where you at. I'm not gonna give up any information because that's customer confidentiality. We ain't doing that. But I got your address right here. I'm gonna contact my attorney. He will be in touch with you tomorrow. I'm taking to court and I'm suing you behind. Because at the end of the day, you're going to tell me that's how my product comes up looking that dark at the end of the day, going to slander my work? All right, I'm coming for you.
Type material, but he says you can paint it on any type of surface. That's why I went ahead and got this, just because it was a little thicker, stretchy type of material. I figured if it worked, I'd be able to stretch it over a frame and use it like that.
Now remember, everything you're saying that we're recording, you better back it up in court.
There's a lot of speckles. The white is showing through. But what I bought, he said, you can paint from 100 to 120 inch screen. So I'm hoping I have enough left over to do a light coat.
Make sure you show him having the product in his hand.
And
We want that. He has the product in his hand.
for Black Series Edition, I got it off this website. Got it a couple of weeks ago. Just haven't gotten
Do you see it right there? That's the batch number on that technology. It means that technology was tested because there's a batch number on it. We tested before we ship it out.
Trying to do it yet. You can see
Ooh, I'm gonna
batch
sue the
number here.
daylight. I can't wait for the attorneys to contact him.
Label.
We know exactly where you live at. We're coming for you.
Taped it up, haven't messed with it, haven't opened it, haven't done anything with it. Behind me, I have a
Nobody. Something's
batch
wrong
number
there.
here. This is his label. It's the way.
You open that up, and I'll tell you where you open it up. We never stack the tape that heavy on top of a container. I've never have. They used to lay nice and flat to the top. So that was already pre-opened already from the door. We can tell. We never wrap containers with that much freaking tape at the top. Never. Nope. I'm going to see you in court real soon. Real soon, I'm going to see you in court. We can tell. We never wrap anything that high with that much tape at the top. Never shipped a container like that ever. You opened up that container and you went in and you poured something in it. Because I can tell you right there, we never wrap them like that. Never. In any demonstration I've done where I've actually boxed paint up, you've never seen me do that. You're going to have to get a lawyer, buddy. You're getting sued. Let me see. Because I can show test demonstrations. As a matter of fact, I can paint that screen right in the courtroom on a 1,000 projector and it'll pull up nothing like you're showing up in there. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint that same product right there and the demonstration right in the courtroom. I'm going to have my lawyer suggest it. And if my screen paint pops the way it's supposed to, you're going to get hit with a heavy lawsuit. I'm taking you for about, see how much you got in the day. I'll say I'm going to sue you for about $100,000. That's what I'm going for. Got your address right there. So let me see. Shipping updates. This is what they're all under. Shipping updates. I put down Crystal Witch. We don't never pack. I know we're looking at this. So wait a minute. We don't pack our tape up like that on a container. Never. Because we have a heat gun. There you go. These are every last, when I ship out an item, I actually record when I ship them out. So we never pack the tape high on them because we hit them with a heat gun. The heat gun causes the surface to melt around the container. Dummy. I love when people do dumb stuff at the end of the day. Oh, we're going to come for you. I'm going to sue the pants off you. And the beautiful thing about this is your address is right there for us to stick the attorneys on you. We'll be in contact real soon. Orlando, Florida, here we come. So the reason why I know something's wrong, because we use a heat gun. We use a heat gun to seal the container. The tape would have never been buckled like that because we have a heat gun that we use on our products. And we don't stack them that high on the top anyway, because there's a heat gun we hit it with. Every demonstration we use heat guns. Allows for the system to vacuum. It vacuum seals the container. I got a cinema in the next room. My customers have this, and on top of that, like I said, we have 0 returns on that product. So now we can show a track record that the product has 0 returns on it, which means if it came up the way you said it did, we would have massive amount of returns on it, and we don't have massive amount of returns on it at all, period. Which means you went in and you falsified that product. I'm gonna clean your clock in court. That's just beautiful. I never sued a customer before, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely sue the daylights out of you. Get yourself an attorney real quick. I'm gonna be in touch real quick with you. I'll pull one of my ones, but I got the camera with the lids up. Never pack our tape on piled up like that. I'm very neat with how I pack my containers. I've never ever shipped containers where the tape is so high packed up like that. No, that container was actually open. And on top of that, like I said, we use a heat gun to seal the tape. And on top of that, buddy, your package got a batch number attached to it, which means you're going to have to beat the batch number. And we test the products before we ship them out. So like I said, if my product came out looking like that, I would have masses and massive amount of returns on my account, and I have no returns on my account at all, period. Your intentions was to slander my company, and this is going to get you sued now. So you know that. We know where you live, we know where you lay your head, and we're coming for you. And I'm going to slap you with a lawsuit. I'm not going to send you with any cease and desist order, nothing like that. I'm going to sue you right from the door. I'm going to sue you for $100,000. And if you ain't got the money, I don't care. I'm going to execute judgment. I'm taking your stuff. Thank you so much. Here we go. Look at this. Here you go. In every single video demonstration, whether I'm using black tape or clear tape, it's always sealed tight to the container. I never leave a bulky top like that, ever. I have a certain system on how I pack my tape, on how I pack my containers. It's a certain system that I use. I've been doing the same thing every single day. Nothing changes. So that's how I knew from the door when I looked at the container. I lifted it up and I saw that ball of tape. You opened it up. You opened the container because we use heat guns on the containers. The heat guns are there to act as a vacuum seal. It also keeps the containers from popping open and shipping. On top of that, I got a little system. We basically wrap it up like a hat, we fold it down, and we hit it with the heat gun. The heat gun melts it into the container. So there's no way in the world you would have ever got a container with the tape piled up on the top like that. Now, this is the problem you're going to have when we get to court. First things first, that video you just had, you're going to have to prove that my product came out like that. And it didn't. Because again, we could paint the screen right there in the courtroom with no problem whatsoever. We can bring a sample of the product right there, whatever it takes. Keep in mind, like I said, the product has a batch number, which means it was tested before it was shipped out to you. So again, you're going to have to beat the batch number, which is going to be very hard to do. Then on top of that, like I said, from our PayPal accounts, we can show how many returns we got from the item. None. None. 5,000 of those units were sold and we never received one return on the product. So if your product, you claim that we're scammers and this is what we're doing and our products look like this, then how come we don't have a higher return rate? There you go. You're done. I'll see you in court real soon. You're going to pay me a lot of money. A lot of money. So I hope you got deep pockets, because if you don't, I'm taking your stuff. If you drive, I'm taking your car. Anything you got belongs to me now. And the beautiful thing about it is, I got your address right there on my PayPal account. You were dumb enough to put your name in the YouTube video of slander my product, and I got a receipt of you purchasing that product with a batch number attached to it. You're screwed. Now, it's funny because I'm going to call my buddy up, and that's the one that likes to laugh before I pick up the phone, and he's like, here come another one. Yep, we got another one. Jamie's already going to court and getting sued. Now you jumped on the bandwagon with him, and now you're getting sued. You see how much pressure is put on the top of that to make sure it lays nice and flat? You're screwed. The tape we use is a clear version of that film. So it's designed to marry itself real tight to the container. And then we hit it with the heat gun, it shrinks right into the container. You would have to do more than that to cut through it. And this is why at the end of the day, people, this is why we have batch numbers. Batch numbers protect you at the end of the day in case you have to take somebody to court. So basically you can back up the product to show that it works perfectly fine. You guys always mess up. You always mess up. Whew, man, I can't wait to drag you up here to Philadelphia. You do know you're coming up here, right? So basically, I'm going to take you out of the comfort of your home. You're coming up here. So the guy by the name of Matthew right here, we know you live in Orlando, Florida. We got your information over here. I'm going to be in contact with you real soon. I'm going to send all this information to my attorney. We'll make a dub copy of your video, and we're going to bring you into court for slander against our company and the attempt to commit fraud. And I'm going to basically sue you for $100,000. That's what I file my lawsuit for. $100,000 plus, damages and stuff like that. We'll pad it up for you. We're good. This is going to be the easiest money ever made, to tell you the truth. So let me get this straight. And on top of that, we can show test demonstrations of the product being tested before it was ever shipped out. That's the beautiful thing. I tell you, you have to have your products tested, because this is going to help us in court win easily, because we can show this product was tested, number one. We can also show how the product are packaged, number two. The products have batch numbers attached to them, and our PayPal receipts show 0 returns on 5,000 units. So if that paint came out the way you said it did, you know how many returns I would have against my account right now? Yeah, there you go. You should have really thought about what you did before you went down that road. Oh, got all this information right here. So I'm going down to City Hall tomorrow. I'm going to take all your information with me, and I'm going to go file. And I'll see you in court. We also have on the website a penalty if you violate the number, but this one's gonna be a little different. I'm taking you to civil court because I want 100,000 out of you. If I take you to small claims, I only get 10, and that's not enough. I need to teach you a lesson. I want 100,000. If we can get more, 150,000, whatever the lawyers are asked for at the end of the day, what they feel they can get out of it. But I know it's gonna be a lot of money. So let's show you again. Now, that plastic wrap you have on there, that container, did you do an unboxing? I didn't see any unboxing in the videos, nothing at all whatsoever, period. Look at the color on that wrapper. Don't you guys watch my demonstrations at the end of the day? Don't you know I know these things from the door? I was sitting there about to do this video on change, and I seen them pop up, and I said, wait a minute, that name looks familiar. And then when I seen the paint coming up really dark like that, I'm like, okay, this is the same nonsense Crow likes to pull through these dark videos, but this time he did it with a different spin. He had brought this customer in to do this. So, again, remember, we're going to be suing all three of these individuals, and on top of that, they're going to file conspiracy charges. So guess what, buddy? You're getting pulled into conspiracy charges also. Because when I get done suing you, I'm going to turn around, they're going to get sued, and they're definitely going to lose at the end of the day, and we're going to go in and we're going to file a conspiracy charge. We're going to get criminal charges, which shows that basically you worked with Crow to basically to do all this to try to tarnish my product. This is how the containers would have looked. That material we put on it is a film. It's designed to shrink. See how flat the top is? You're an idiot. We even have a processing video showing us how we process orders. processing, how we process all our orders. And right down here, these are the batch numbers right there. And guess what batch number that is? That's the one sitting on your container right now. Mr. Mixer out, which is your container, your paint came out of a 5-gallon container because that's how we mix them. We mix them in 5-gallon drums. Even here, I mix them in 5-gallon drums. I got a little section. These things, areas, this place area has very deep closets. So I go into the closet, I set my little area up. I basically drop the 5-gallon container. I got the mixer, I drop on it, boop, done, and that's it. So we make these 5 gallons at a time, which means out of your paint and out of the orders that I can pull up that was under that product, we can tell how many people we shipped out of that 5-gallon container, which means that if your batch was bad, everybody else's batch would have to be bad also. But yours came out of that one. Now, because it's a new launch of a new product, we made 50 gallons of that technology right there. Because instead of me going back and doing another batch number after another batch number after another batch number, I made 50 gallons of it. And I stored it downstairs in the basement. Yours came out of that batch right there. There's no point in me doing 5 gallons at a time, especially when we get new product that comes through. Now, I know you're doing a video demonstration right now, and you're trying to back up your claim, but you're not going to win this. Your product was tested. I can paint the same product in a courtroom with no problem whatsoever, and it'll pull with no problem. I have 0 returns on this technology, not one. Which shows that that product came up looking the way you said it did, I would have a massive amount of returns on my account, which I don't. As a matter of fact, I got new orders for the product as we speak. And that product was tested on white levels, contrast levels, color levels, different caliber of projectors, ultra short throw projectors, and we also did the test demonstrations on certifies. You're screwed. I'm gonna come see you soon, very soon.
I just took relaxing it more than relaxing that is.
So you said the product wasn't mixed correctly? That is a cement mixer that we stick in there, and it basically blends everything perfectly fine. That's how your product was mixed. So you just say that you had little stuff, little blue flakes and whatever. No, that would have been virtually impossible. That's how we mix them. In every demonstration, you see me use that mixer. So that's virtually impossible. What you guys did was you ordered the product from me. You opened it up because we don't put that pile of tape on the top. We use a heat gun to seal that in. So no, we would have never shipped it that way. And you sprinkled whatever you want to do in there, put the paint, taped it back together, and did the fake demonstration. That's what you did. Because again, we can show records that we don't have any returns on that product. And if that product came out the way you said it did, first of all, you never contacted us and say, hey, look, the problem came a little dark. Anybody who spends that kind of money on a product is going to sit there and say, hey, it came out to this, that, and the other. They'll contact us and say, hey, can you fix the problem? So and so and so. That's what would have been happening because we have a fantastic exchange policy. But you didn't do that. What you did was you went to Jamie and you did that fake demonstration, which means your intentions was never good when you ordered the product. But like I said, that's why we do the batch numbers, because the batch numbers protects the company. Testing protects the company.
Fraud against our company by doing.
You heard what I'm saying in the video? And you were dumb enough to put your name, your full name in the video, and we got your shipping information right here.
Now, also too, the batch number helps us at the end of the day. Not only does it give a guarantee that the customer at the buy is working perfectly fine if we ship it out to them, but also protects our company against people who try to commit fraud against our company by doing, we go through this from time to time, fake demonstrations or fake reviews on our products. Keep in mind,
You are so screwed. It is not even funny. So in the batch number, which you're that number on the side of your container that you see right there, the one you showed on camera, there's the batch number right there. You came out of the 50. You came out of that one right there, that first container. That's what I poured you from. And as I mentioned in the video, the reason why I do batch numbers is it keeps people from committing fraud against our company. You, my friend, from following down the road with Jamie and with the conspiracy, yes, we're going to hit you with a conspiracy charge, with the attentions to basically try to tear my company down, I'm going to file a very heavy lawsuit on you. When I get done with you, you're going to wish you weren't born.
That we will be posting in the section under the batch number the penalties for basically if you're caught violating this batch number. Like I said, we'll be taking you to small claims court with a...
I won't be taking you to small claims court. I'm taking you to civil court. Because I'm going to request a heavy amount of money. Small claims court is $10,000. Civil court is a little different. I can get more money out of you than that. And if you don't have the money, I don't care. You're going to pay me. If you don't pay me, I'm going to execute judgment on you, which means I'm going to have a sheriff's department come down and take your stuff. Everything that you have.
Lawsuit for about $10,000. So, if you want to go down that road, okay, it's up to you. Like I said,
I warned you.
No problem. We decided to go to small claims court. Now, if they go a little farther outside that line where basically they're slandering us, I mean, if they're doing something like they're calling us, then we may have to take a little farther than that. So, some things we're going to put in there because, again, at the end of the day, like I said, we work hard for our products. We make sure we do a lot of testing that our products work well and correctly for our customers, and we don't appreciate if people are going to come in, a few bad apples are going to come in and basically try to tamper and make our products look like something that they're not. So, like I said, smallest amount of fines will be about $10,000 in small claims court, which is going to be a very hard thing to get around. Like I said, we back our products up. And if we feel that the actions that were done by those individuals were much greater than small claims court, then we'll be taking you to regular court and then suing you for a lot more. So,
did you hear what I just said in the video? If you show something like that, we're going to take you to court for a lot more. So I'm going to bring this video to my attorney. We're going to play this in court. You will hear this again in court. If I were you, I would start deleting as fast as I possibly can. And if you choose, do you think you have a leg to stand on to fight me in court? Then I'll see you in court. No problem.
like I said, in the long run, mind your business, respect other people's property at the end of the day. If you don't like the product, then you don't like the product. That's your personal opinion. But when you start mixing things into the product and make it seem like something that it's not, and calling us all kinds of fancy names, basically try to tear down our product, and then, then we're gonna have to bring it to court. Okay, so let's begin.
Now, Jamie, you sent us a bunch of emails based on this video because I've seen the links popping up you sent to me. So this is now going to be submitted to the lawyer for this lawsuit. This is going to show that you were involved in this. We have another lawsuit against him for copyright infringements. Other with this fellow right here, again, this shows that basically the cause and effect, that what you triggered off by doing this demonstration. And this is where damages are going to come in for a lot of money. Because we can show in the courts that we're already suing this individual for copyright infringement, and you're a part of this group. This is a group you're a part of. So that's what this conspiracy charge is coming at. And this is where we're going to request, not money, but we're going to request hefty jail time. You guys make this too easy. This is why I tell people at the end of the day, testing is extremely important. Because if you can test your products and show that they work 100%, you can back it up, you can win anything in court. You know what's going to hit you the hardest, Matthew? What's going to hit you the hardest is the fact that our track record on that product. 0 returns. A customer at the end of the day, if they paid money for a product, they would contact us and say, hey, look, it's coming up a little dark, this, that, and the other, so and so and so. We would request for the item to come back here so we can test it on live. Now, usually what most people do is if they're making a false claim, they don't want to send it back. They don't want to send it back and run the risk of getting busted. Like we busted a few people doing something they weren't supposed to be doing. We even went out and bought someone's projector and brought it in for the test demonstrations, and it failed miserably, showing that the person's knockoff projector wouldn't work on the product. So we back our stuff at the end of the day. But most importantly, I can show a track record on that technology before we launched it. And we can back up the same test we showed in the demonstrations before we launched it, we can show it now. I can paint that screen in a courtroom with no problem. And I'm going to suggest my lawyer have me paint the screen in the courtroom, and we use a 1,000 projector much lower than yours. And that screen's going to pull with no problem. We have enough evidence already that we need to bury you. But when I go to court, I like to crush people. I like to give them no option out. Remind you, when I tell you this, we don't accept plea deals. So Matthew, I will be seeing you soon. Tomorrow morning, I'm going down to the City Hall, and I'm going to begin the paperwork of filing. I will be contacting my attorney, which will be contacting you to let you know what's going to happen. You know what makes this easier for me? I have your address. It's easier for me to reach out and contact you. So I'm going to start getting all the evidence, everything we need to get ready to start getting this started. Because the first thing they're going to ask me is, Mr. Bird, on this product, how many returns have you received from it? 0 returns. How many of these items did you sell? 5,000 units. They're going to ask you at the end of the day, if you, out of 5,000 units, how come you didn't contact Mr. Bird about this issue? How come you went on YouTube and slandered him? Did you contact him? Did you let him know about the situation? Did you let him know the paint had a problem? You're going to say no, because you didn't contact me ever. You didn't contact me at all, period. So you proceed to go on YouTube. You never contacted. You never told him about the situation, what was going on. If there was a problem with the paint, you never contacted him. Those are the questions they're going to ask you in court. Mr. Bird, do you have proof that this product, when you shipped it out, worked? Yes, we do, Your Honor. We got a batch number attached to it, showing the product was painted and tested before we shipped out. His product came out of a 5-gallon container along with a bunch of other customers, which we have no returns on. And my lawyer, because he likes to do the same thing I do, is nail somebody to a wall. Mr. Bird, you don't mind painting the screen in the courtroom? No, I do not. Same demonstration I do here, I can do in the courtroom. But except for we use a projector lower than yours, much lower. And then we'll show your demonstration versus my product. And you know what's going to happen after that? Your attorney's going to whisper in your ear, and he's going to say, look, we need to take a plea deal. But if not, you're going to lose your shirt. And now, you know, they say, can both parties approach the bench? I've been to this a dozen times, and that's when we have a little discussion back and forth right in there. And I tell them, no, we don't want it. We want to be hit with maximum. We want the maximum amount of dollar we can get out of this guy. And that's it. You're done. And you can sit there and cry in court and say, I don't have the money, I have no way. They don't care. Really don't care. And before we leave, I'm going to request an execution of judgment, which means I will have all your stuff. If you anything you have is mine now. Consider that. Now, after I sue you and this is done, and you figure out how you're going to fix that mess in your life, because you're going to be going through some stuff after that, because you're going to owe me money. I'm going to have a debt collector come down on you and get what you owe me at the end of the day. When you go through that headache, they're going to be going through their headache at the same time. See me pouring the customers, taking care of the customers? So they're going to be going through that headache. And then when we're done suing them and prosecuting them, then we're going to go in and hit you with conspiracy, which means we can show proof that all y'all were together to commit this conspiracy against Mr. Bird's company. And we're not asking for money, we're asking for jail time. That's what we're requesting. Jail time. So your product was mixed properly. That's why we showed the blender, the machine. And your product basically was tested before we shipped it out. And we have test demonstrations under the product before we shipped it out, because they're going to ask that in court. Well, my lawyer is going to ask that, so I have to say that in court, which I already know what the question is already, so we can show the judge. And they're going to ask, is your product tested? And I said, yes, my product is tested. Which product was tested before we shipped it out? How many returns do you have on this item? We don't have any returns on this item. How many units did you sell? We sold 5,000 units. Did this person, Matthew, contact you at any given time? No, he did not contact us at any given time. We didn't even know this was going on. So basically his intentions were to go on YouTube and slander our company. They're going to ask you, Mr. Matthew, your last name, whatever it is. We can't pronounce it. Sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. But they're going to ask you, did you contact Mr. Bird at any time about this problem that came up? You're going to say no. You're going to say, why did you contact him? Why didn't you reach out to him if there was a problem with it? Your intentions were to slander my company. So, again, you're not winning this. I will see you in court. I have all your information right here. I'm going to print it out right now. I'm going to send a copy of this to the attorneys, and I will see you in court. I will not be taking you to small claims court, so you know I'll be taking you to civil court, and I'll be suing you for, let me see what we can get out of this guy at the end of the day. Let's see. Civil court lawsuit for slandered. Let's see. State of Florida. No, state of Florida. You'll be coming down to here, to the state of Pennsylvania. I'm going to drag you out of the comfort of your own home and bring you down to my world. That's what's going to happen. How much money can you win in a civil lawsuit for slander?
According to Mullen Law Firm, the average slander case settles for $15,000, but depending on your case, the amount of money you can get will likely vary from this. Get legal advice first whenever you think of filing a defamation claim.
We definitely have it. We have it as clear as day. You're going to have to show that that product actually works. What is the penalties for committing fraud against a company?
According to Ketchel law, if convicted, you face up to 20 years in prison, heavy fines, and a permanent criminal record.
I'll be following fraud charges against you, so you know, because I'm looking for jail time for you, so you know that. 20 years. You better hope you don't have a criminal past or criminal record, anything that pops up, because again, usually most people will go to court and they'll try to basically say it's their first time offender. You better hope that you don't have any records at all. I'm going to push for 20 years maximum. Let's see what we can get out of that. So I'm going to hit you with a lawsuit, and then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to hit you for jail time. Ugh. I'm going to leave it at that. You might want to toughen up a little bit. Let's see. So we can get a maximum of anywhere in the process of 20 years to 30 years, and we can get you for $100,000. I have you on YouTube, your face, right there, on YouTube. I've got your face right there on YouTube. What's your name? Right under the video, which matches your address on our account. We can show that you purchased the item. We can show how basically, right, that's the worst part about it. We can show that you ordered and you purchased the item. We also can show that there's your name right in the video, right next to your face, right next to the product. So I'm gonna start taking my pictures. I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna do a video, well, not video. We're gonna do a video off live, because we need to have all that recorded. We need to make it a little professional. And I'm going to, matter of fact, no, I'm gonna do it live. I'm gonna just let it run, do it live from there, and then we'll basically submit that to the judge. Let me get a print out your address real quick. stuff. And there you are again, doing another video 23 minutes ago. Good, fantastic, stack it up. We'll see you in court real soon. Do as many as you want. I don't care at the end of the day. I'll see you in court real soon. And if you're going to sit there at the end of the day and say, hey, he can't, yes, I can see you, buddy, because I can go into court and I can back up that that product works perfectly fine. And also, too, I can show that if that product came up looking that dark, as you claimed it did, like this, do you have any idea how many returns I would have received on my PayPal account? Yeah, it would have been staggering. As a matter of fact, it would have never passed any of the tests. And please, oh, please, try that nonsense in court by saying, hey, he has settings on his camera, he's going to change it. If you don't have any proof of this, guess what it's called in court? It's called hearsay. You have to show actual proof that I have the ability to do this on my camera, which means I'm doing this on my camera, my customers are doing it on the camera. Everybody who has this product is doing it with my camera. That's what they're doing, the same settings. So that's not going to work in court. So you know that. If you think that's the leg to stand on, no, you have to show hardcore evidence. We can show hardcore evidence that that product worked. We can show hardcore evidence that that product was tested before we shipped it out. We can show hardcore evidence that if that product came out that dark, we would have had massive complaints against our accounts. We'd have had massive returns. There'd have been more than one of those videos floating all over YouTube. There'd have been dozens of them. You're the only one that has a video like that out of the 5,000 we sold. You, my friend, just dug your own grave. So let's go in, let's get the video done. We got to get it ready for court. I'm gonna get your information printed out. Here. Usually, you know, if I sat there, I usually ignore this kind of stuff. But when I saw the name, I came in here and I was looking for something for to explain some more of the changes that are coming through. And I saw him pop up and I'm like, wait a minute, I know that name. I've seen that name before. And I went over and there you are sitting right there on my PayPal account. You're right there, Matthew, right on my PayPal account. I got your address. I know exactly where you live. And then I watched the demonstration and I seen how you made the product look really, really dark. Black paint does that. You know that product right there has a black on black test attached to it, right? Which means if the judge asks us at the end of the day, how do we know our product is not black paint? Because we've done the test. It's called a black on black test. That's why we run every test we possibly can on a product, just in case if we have to go to court, we can back it up on every level. What we have is not hearsay because we have evidence of backing it up. And you're claiming that out of all the people we sold this product to, that yours is the only one that came up looking like this. But yet there is no 50, there's no 5, out of 5,000 units, we don't have 10, 20, 30, 40 people doing the same thing you're doing. You're the only one doing this. And you've been in contact with Jamie. So again, conspiracy. And I recognize this little thing right here because I had conversations. You see that logo right there? I got one of those memories that basically, that I can basically see something and it just triggers off just like that. I know that little symbol you got. I have a full conversation of everything that I explained to you about the product right there on my Facebook account because I remember that little label right there that you use, that little icon. Now, so you know this, we will not be sending you out any cease and desist orders, nothing like that. I'm taking you to court and I'm suing you clean from the door. So what we're going to do is let me get a printout of your shipping information here. Your tracking number, all your information is right here. All right, cool. Let's get a printout of this. We need to print this. Get this ready for court. I'm calling on my products every day. I make sure my customers have what they need. I pay for shipping. I do everything by book as I'm supposed to do it. And I tell you one thing. The Lord does not allow for people to slander his work and what he's blessed us to have. So you're going to have to prove in court that that's my product at the end of the day. I can go in there easy with just my PayPal account alone and say, look, this is us right here. We sold 5,000 of these units right here in 2 months. How many returns you got? Not one. Not one return. Not one. So we got no returns. That means the product must have worked perfectly because nobody returned the product. Everybody liked it. That's the same nonsense we want with that same thing with the 2.0 with Crow. He gets the product out of a 5-gallon container. You're the only one that came up looking that dark like that. You are known for doing this stuff. And since Crow has a history with us of doing this nonsense, you now, my friend, has become a part of this group. Since that fraud comes with 20 to 30 years, I'm going to push for that time in court. I'm going to ask the judge to basically give you some kind of jail sentence out of this, and also to find the daylights out of you. And I will execute judgment right on the spot. Your life is over. You messed it up that fast, that quick. You should have known that at the end of the day, if you watch my demonstrations, I test all my products. And like I said, if you try to use that whole camera thing, he's using some special settings for his cameras, guess what? In court, it's called hearsay. Unless you got hardcore proof that you can show that I had that capability, it's called hearsay. Other than that, you don't got a leg to stand on. What are you going to say in court? Oh, I bought the product. This is how it looks, so and so and so and so. Well, okay, if this is the product, this is how it looks. How come you didn't contact Mr. Bird and make it aware that the product was looking like this? Instead of doing a YouTube video and basically doing this to his company. Mr. Bird, can you show that this product works perfectly? We got a batch number attached. It works perfectly fine. We had to test it before we shipped it out. Do you mind painting this product? And I don't mind painting the product. We can do it right here. We got 1,000. I'll use old Betsy. What's your track record on this problem? 5,000. 5,000 sold, no returns. So if my product came out looking that dark at the end of the day, how in the world do we sell 5,000 units with no returns? How? I'll be sending a copy of your address to the attorneys. I'll also be going down to City Hall to begin filing against you. You'll be receiving a documentation real soon. You're going to get served. So you ever seen those guys that come to your house to serve you for court? Yeah, they're not fun to be around. To tell you at the end of the day, they're going to be persistent, which means he's going to try to put that letter in your hand. He's going to catch you at your job. He's going to catch you anywhere. He's going to come to your house and bang on your door. He's going to be there waiting for you. When you come out for work, he's going to be there. He's going to follow you everywhere you go to give you that document because you got to go to court. Your life is about to get really rough. Now, Jamie, like I said, at the end of the day, because you sent all these emails with this link attached to it, we're going to take that and give that to the attorneys too. We're going to actually submit that in because, again, they're going to file conspiracy charges against all of y'all to show that basically that you caused all this nonsense to begin with by saying our company was supposed to be a scam site and we're stealing from people, and you incorporated these people in to begin with. You're the ringleader of it all. So you're definitely going to get jail time. I'm definitely going to push for it. Oh, how the dumb things we do. My goodness. Don't think at all, period. So the only thing you're going to probably say is using some special, and you're going to say that at the end of the day that, keep in mind, I do something called a fast and easy. That shows that every time we basically do one of these containers, we paint the surface in to show what size we can get out of it before we can get the container to put it in. So I can also show that basically we painted this screen a dozen times to show anytime we do a fast and easy, we paint it to the surface of the screen. So you're saying the coverage isn't that much? Everything you say in here, we're going to be prosecuting in court. But most of all, this nonsense right here, where you try to make my product look like something that it's not. Buddy boy, you have no idea the nightmare you just dug up for yourself. You know what makes this a gold mine for me at the end of the day? Usually I have to spend the money to get the investigator to track people down. That's what I usually have to do. You're right there. Now, if anybody else feels the need to do something stupid by the day and you want to put some more money in Mr. Bird's pocket, you just let me know and we'll come get you. It's a fantastic way to start 2023. Suing people, taking everything from them, and I got $1 million contract. Gee whiz, man. That just make it too easy. You know, I was going to tell you something. Once I hit the capital that I want, we hit that $1 million mark. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna definitely come get y'all. That way you wouldn't leave. There's your address right there. Now you can't say that basically I posted your address because nope, I don't do that. Even with customers at the end of the day who do me dirty, I never post your address because I don't do that. I'm a professional at the end of the day. This address is only for me, the courts, and the attorney. That's it. We have your full receipt here too, showing that you purchased the item too. Let's see, when did you order this? Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Excellent. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in. I need a recording of this with not me saying anything on it so we can get that ready for court. Let me go in and don't delete the video. The last thing you want to do is don't delete videos. Leave it there where it is, okay? I'm going to make a copy of your video. Let me see, we'll bring this all the way back. All right, I'm going to run the name. I'll be right back. I got to make a copy of this one for court. Oops.